back to Clair de Lune from scratch. Okay, let's just do a quick review of the full measure with the melody, with the rolling notes in the bottom, and then we're going to transition to the next measure. Okay, so just as a quick review, just want to show you we're playing these 3 notes with the left hand, these 3 notes with the left hand, these 3 notes with the left hand. We're playing these 3 notes with the right hand, these 3 notes scooping in. We're scooping in here, and we've got that unusual kind of a jump from here, 1, 5, 2, and then a 3. I picked a thicker pen than normal. So let's take a look, and I'll show you how that all fits in together one more time. Okay? Now, you might notice you're going to have from here to here, you have a little bit of a hop. Okay? And again, if you keep your fingers light, jumping from here to here shouldn't be too difficult. Okay? Playing the piano is always a combination of not just fingers, but fingers, hands, wrist, arms. An arm can have a motion, a wrist can have a faster motion. Multiple fingers have the fastest motion. So many times it's a combination of using larger elements combined with the smaller elements of your hands physically to be able to move around relatively easily. Okay? There's a whole theory associated with that. We'll get into that someday if anybody's interested. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's go back to our music. And I want to focus on the transition from here to here. Okay? So let's just go ahead and bridge that a bit and go ahead to here, and let's go to a new page. And just focus on this transition for just a bit, okay? Just recall, use a better pen over here, 5, 4, okay? 1, 5, 2, 3, okay? And then what's going to happen is let me just focus on the right hand for just a bit. We're going to start over here, okay? Remember, we're taking these 3 notes, okay? So here, okay? Now take a look at these 2 notes really carefully. You have the F flat over here. Remember, F flat, there's no black key. And then A flat over here. This A flat stays, but now the F loses its flat, and because of that natural. But it's not only the natural. Actually, when you change to a new measure, old accidentals or old flats or any modifiers are automatically gone, but this is just kind of a courtesy reminder accidental, so they're showing you that the F is gone, okay? So, what's going to happen, I'd like you to switch fingers here to the 4 and 2, okay? It's kind of mimicking the same finger we had in the previous measure. When we started this, remember, I asked you to use a 4-2, okay? So I'd like you to go back to that finger to make that transition back there, okay? So, one more thing I want you to notice, take a look at the left hand. If you recall, this is the same 3 notes that we had over here. And take a look at the right hand over here. These are the same 3 notes over here. So a lot of this starts to repeat. Okay, so let's go back to the transition and watch how this goes into the next section. And then switch fingers. Okay, so really not so bad. If you can just get that transition from here, the stretch here, and then you kind of compress back down. So stretch, compress. These 2 fingers are going to switch on that same note over there, okay? And then you're back to this area, which we just learned a little while ago. So let's do the whole thing. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this measure, which looks a lot like the previous measure. Measure 28 looks almost the same as 27, and there's a slight difference at the end. So let's copy that. Let's go ahead and paste this over here. Even though it's overlapping a bit, I think it's still helpful, okay? All right, so here we are. This is the same as this portion over here, so I hope that's not too confusing, okay? Let's just write down our fingerings really quickly. 4, 2, okay? And then this, again, showing that the right hand plays here, right hand plays here, okay? And this is, again, almost the same, and we're going to take a look at where things change. Here, we don't have that upper note coming on as we did with the previous measure. So we had that D going up here. We don't have that, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to prepare this for some more things that are coming up a little bit later after that, okay? So we're going to modify this. We're going to have it somewhat the same, 5, 4, just like we had it here, remember? Okay? Same thing here. 5, 4, reach down to a 1 over here, okay? here, instead of doing the stretch, because we don't need to go up immediately, we're going to just stick with the fourth finger here, which also happens to be the same note as this one over here. See that? So we're going to just stick with a 4-2 like that. So let me go ahead and I'm going to start right from this measure, and you'll see how that all fits in. Okay, ready? Right hand, changed. Hop. Now, okay, fits in here quite nicely. I'm going to warn you though, we're going to be getting ready to do quite a big leap, okay? And we're going to be relying on our hands to jump. And one of the things I love about cookie cutter hands is that it's easier than you think to jump large distances because you're not stretching your hands in unusual shapes to find the notes. You're using the cookie cutter shapes to hopefully plop down into the next grouping, and so that you can find the notes more automatically. And that's exactly what's going to happen in the next measure. Okay, great. I'll see you at the next lesson.